Went to Taylor, by the way.
You saw Taylor?
This is the greatest live concert I've ever seen in my life. Only person you can compare Taylor Swift to is Michael Jackson. There's nobody else. You're doing a disservice to any other artist if you compare Taylor Swift to that. I'm being honest with you, it is the most amazing live concert I've ever seen.
Andrew Schulz. Now, I think it's about time you all heard my hot take on Taylor Swift. And the reason is, I've noticed that everybody else's hot take on Taylor Swift is very cynical a lot of the time. Most people. Take Andrew Schulz there. One of the sneakiest, planningest, businessman-like, climbingest comedian climber from the Rogan sphere. One of the worst offenders of that group. Andrew Schulz there, telling us how Taylor Swift is literally the greatest of all time. All right, Andrew Schulz. All right, you liar.
Who's Daniel Boland? Oh, Daniel Boland, this is a heavy hitter. Do you guys know who this is?
And you've seen Beyonce.
Son, I've seen Beyonce. And this is gonna hurt feelings here, but you're doing a disservice to Beyonce to compare her to Taylor Swift. Because Taylor is in another galaxy. I was a Taylor hater. I'm going there because my wife wants to go. I've been making fun of this girl for a decade. And within one song, I'm standing up. I knew you were trouble when you walked in.
I know it's becoming hack to say this, but that's the Adderall. I've hated Taylor Swift for a decade, and after one song, I was like, oh my God. Amphetamines.
I felt like such a phony.
I'm gonna have to apologize. It's very late at night, and my editing skills are not what they should be. So imagine the clip of David Mitchell there, as Andrew Schulz says, I felt like such a phony. Imagine David Mitchell going, no, a 1,000 times no. Right, that would be really funny, wouldn't it? Now, Andrew Schulz is not by any means the only offender of whom I'm going to speak today in today's video. The people, celebrities, politicians giving their opinions on Taylor Swift just to get some kind of reaction, you know? Some of the least people you'd least expect to do it are doing it. But I have to say, Andrew Schulz, all of his opinions that suddenly come to him after a decade of hating Taylor Swift, he's suddenly, she's the greatest thing, she's greater than Michael Jackson. It is amazing how all of Andrew Schulz's opinions fall on him like a manna from the sky. As Shane Gillis said, his epiphanies that fall on him out of nowhere. They're also clickable, aren't they? They're also easy to chop up into 1-minute YouTube shorts or TikTok videos. It's almost as though you don't believe a word of anything you say. But as I say, it's not just Andrew Schulz, as you'll see.
I went in there not thinking I was going to be blown away, and it was spectacular. I hate we have to compare him. It's unfair to Beyonce. The only person you can compare Taylor to is Michael Jackson. If you talk about hits, I don't want to do this, but we could do it. You can't tell me Beyonce has the same amount of hits, no features, as Taylor.
Nah, she does.
Take away the features, you can't even name them.
Wait, are you talking about no Destiny's Child?
No Destiny's Child, no Jay-Z, no Sean DePaul.
Oh, you mean with nobody?
No features! Why we act like we don't know what features are? What I hate is that y'all even bring Beyonce into it. Y'all need to just compare Taylor Swift and Michael Jackson, and it's close. We do not want to have the conversation of writing their own songs, and that's what makes a great artist. We're not talking about the greatest performer of all
There's
time.
no way Taylor writes all her.
If all of it.
Michael Jackson didn't even write his own music.
That's what I'm trying to say. If we want to have the conversation of greatest artists of all time, and I know that we don't want to have this conversation, it's Taylor motherfucking Swift.
All right. So, of all of the lies that Andrew Schulz just told, all of those clickable lies, those epiphanies that just came to him after a decade of hating Taylor Schulz. It's Taylor motherfucking Swift. Is it? Is it Taylor motherfucking Swift? Really? She's the greatest of all time. What? Her dancing? Is that what makes her performances so unmissable? I've tried to watch the Eras tour here on Disney. Okay? It's all right. You know, I liked some of Taylor Swift's songs, but is she the greatest lyricist of all time? Is she writing groundbreaking melodies? Do not get me wrong, I think she's talented. And we're not just going to look at people who love Taylor Swift all of a sudden. We're going to look at people who are hating on her unnecessarily as well. I fall in the camp of people who think she's just a pop star who's popular, and I don't really care. I don't care when she says political stuff. Like, fuck the patriarchy. I don't care. You know, it's just Taylor Swift. You don't have to go all full Paul Joseph Watson. Multi-billionaire pop star says fuck the patriarchy. Ha ha ha. Right. Nothing against Paul Joseph Watson, but you know, at the end of the day, we're kind of rage baiting on that kind of thing. Of course, Taylor Swift's political opinions are going to be stupid. She's a fucking pop star who's been doing nothing but music since she was a little girl. Okay? And of course, she is in a little bit of a state of arrested development. That is to be expected. You know? That's the kind of best thing that can come. That's the best case scenario for a lifelong pop star.
Yeah, well, I went to the Taylor Swift concert on Friday at Wembley. It was fantastic, and I went with my wife and my children.
Keir Starmer, poor Keir Starmer. The way he pretends to interact with the world as though he isn't some sort of giant boffin. I went to the Taylor, checks notes, Swift concert, and I went with my wife, that's relatable, and children, which, you know, I have.
And I learned something there, right?
Oh, I sense I'm going to be patronised, but go on, do tell, Sir Keir Starmer. What is it that you learned from the Taylor Swift concert that you, say, didn't learn from your time as a human rights advisor in Northern Ireland, or as the head of public prosecutions?
I learned that my 13-and-a-half-year-old daughter knows every single word of every single song of every single album of Taylor Swift, and she sung them all throughout the entire 3 hours that we were there. It was really fantastic. I have to say, it was a great concert.
He must think we're fucking mugs.
And if you get the chance to either go or watch it on the television, it's really worth doing. It was fantastic. Thank you for your question.
There is nothing I enjoy more than watching politicians, you know, go nervously around a factory shaking the hands of the workers, pretending they're on the same level, you know. We've got the same interests, you and I. Taylor Swift, am I right? You know, no one's ever tried to sort of take the mick, have a bit of a sense of humour, play with the fact that everyone kind of knows that if you go into politics, you're a bit narcissistic and you're fighting tooth and nail. You know, you're burying your teammates along the way. You know, you've got so many skeletons under you once you've risen to the top of politics that, you know, you're not fooling anyone who isn't completely retarded. You know, we're all just pretending, most of us, to not know all that reality. The reality of a politician is that. Yeah, that's what it is. It's a brutal business. I'm just saying, if you had a bit of a sense of humour, this is what I would do if I was Prime Minister. I would, on the day of my entering Parliament as Prime Minister, or the day of my inauguration as President, I would enter the Parliament, I would enter Congress on a litter, being carried by, and I'm going to say it, greased up, semi-naked black manservants. And black because it would be funnier, right? And they'd be carrying me to the beat of a drum. Doom, doom, doom. And I'm just there laid on a chaiselong on top. And people, you know, playing trumpets in front of them. You know, that, I think that would go down better that gag would go down better than me wearing a hard hat on a construction site, looking like an absolute nonce.
And my favourite song is Change.
Sure it is, Keir.
I'm telling you, man, you don't want to suffer the wrath of Taylor Swift. So we like to call our tour the Errors Tour, because I feel like we've had more than a few eras, and more than a few fucking errors as well. Just a couple. That's because we actually play live. What?
Oh, sick burn, Dave Grohl. What is the point? Let's wrap this up. Okay, what's the point of today's video? What should you be taking away? There is no denying that Taylor Swift is one of the biggest artists, probably the biggest in the world for the last 10 years or so, and one of the most prolifically successful artists of the last 10 years or so, right? It remains to be seen what her legacy will be, you know, where history will place her amongst the greats. My point is, it just seems like Taylor Swift is a vehicle for polarization, as so many things are now, you know? I remember a few months ago when some absolute lunatic posted those disgusting, sexy AI images of Taylor Swift on Twitter. Now, that was the fruit of a lot of people's fantasizing about Taylor Swift. They've got her on a pedestal now of this ideal beauty of some kind, I think. They're all slobbering over her, a lot of men. And on the other hand, I get on my Twitter feed people saying how average she is. Oh, she's a 5. She's bang average. I think if you're just being objective, she's an attractive young woman. She's a good singer, songwriter, you know? Why all the controversy? That's what I want to know. You know, you're just going to add to her confusion, to her continued arrested development. Now, she'll never be a fully fleshed out 34-year-old like me. You know, we were born days apart. You'd never guess it. You know, I'm here with my mature self-help YouTube channel here, which is helping you to understand the world and interpret all of these stuff about culture that's going on around you, pop culture, which I'm so in tune with. And she is just getting these messages, right? I'm ugly. I'm the most beautiful woman in the world. I'm terrible at writing lyrics because they're all stupid and meaningless. Or I'm the greatest lyricist of my generation. Do you want Taylor to continue to be all confused? There you go. Think about that.
If you want a vision of the future, imagine the boot of a singular chosen celebrity, standing on the human face forever. Tell me, what are your true feelings towards Taylor?
Honestly, I mean, I think she's just okay at best.
It is not enough to merely obey Taylor. You must love her, even above your own life.
So I don't know. Yeah, I guess if there's anything to take away from today's video, it's that if you've got a strong opinion either way about Taylor Swift, maybe you're fucking mental, okay? And you need to chill out a bit. So if you've enjoyed my advice, then I guess give the video a like. Let me know what you think in the comments about Taylor Swift. Keep it civil. Okay, we like to keep it clean in the Daniel Boland Show comment section. and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and check out my Patreon if you want to see some extra videos and help out with the channel even further. We're nearly at 100,000 subscribers. Oh my golly. Gosh, I'll see you in the next one.